Easton! Easton! Run! Said Roy, as the bear had the young boy by his skull. Sarah! Sarah, come out of the tent! Run, hurry up! Easton's getting taken! He'd yell and scream and shout with all his might as the grizzly hurtled over the fat little child and began digging into his chest. What's up, guys and gals? Iceman here. Welcome to Chilling Tales. So this one is a heinous attack that took place on Halloween weekend, of all weekends, not far from Yellowstone. But if you guys will like this video, subscribe to the page, paw the bell so you're notified next time I post a video, and blessings to my patrons. Links in the description below if you want to support the Chilling Tales. So Easton, Roy, and Sarah decided to embark on an escape of the Halloween weekend. Sarah had Easton many years ago. The boy was 12 years of age when this heinous attack occurred. Sarah was a beautiful young woman from the South in the United States. She had a bad boy that she went with for a while, got knocked up, had a kid, and then was out on the dating market again not too long after. So years and years later is when she met Roy on a dating website. Roy was a hard-working guy. He worked on the lines or something, the power lines, one of those kind of guys, tough guy, big beard on him, nice chiseled body, nice chiseled frame, just a sort of manly man, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't all that affluent in camping, although he would hunt in his younger years, but they didn't live too far from Yellowstone. So they decided to go on a little vacation. They go walking down the ridges. They see the beautiful mountainous ranges, the geysers, the trees, the elk, the wolves, everything. They see the bears. But they veered off into this little obscure area in which some people camp. It wasn't officially part of the park. It was off from the park a little bit. So they set up their little camp, this nice little campsite. Easton was a kid who was a bit obnoxious. All right. He would play video games, and I think it was partly due to the fact that his mother went from guy to guy to guy when he was growing up. And he just didn't really have a disciplinary figure of a man in his life that sort of led him to be a little disrespectful to authority and things like that, which I think might be part of what got him into this mess. He was told strictly by Roy to stay near them during the night. They had two tents. Roy and Sarah stayed in their tent, and Easton stayed in his tent. It was only about 10 feet away from Roy and Sarah's tent. So they had a little fire that night, roasted some marshmallows, told some funny stories, and then they started getting ready for bed. And that's when terror struck. Sarah was in her tent getting ready to see Roy, if you will. She was doing herself up some, doing her makeup. It was unusual. They're out camping, but, you know, Roy had his preferences. They were new in their relationship, only dating for a few months. So everything was fresh, right? They still had that, what do you call it? Butterflies or whatever. The sparks were still there. While Easton was said to go to his tent and play his Nintendo Switch. He went in there, he started playing his game. Roy was outside the tent still, kind of putting out the fire. He looked over at Easton. Easton, you go to bed now, boy. Your mommy and I will see you in the morning. Let us know if you need anything. Ring the bell if you have to go potty. They had this little bell, ding, 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 that they'd ring if they needed each other. And they didn't really want Easton going out on his own in the dark. They had a little pit or a little dugout potty that they'd use that was about 50 feet away from their tents, out at the edge of the woods. So Roy started walking over towards Sarah's tent, sort of getting ready to you-know-what. He knew Sarah was in there, getting all dainty for him or whatever. And then it wasn't until Roy walked up to the tent that he heard something scurrying not far from Easton's tent. He looked, and sure enough, Easton's tent was unzipped, and the boy ran out to go potty or whatever without notifying them. And that's when he heard something. What sounded almost like a little bunny getting attacked. You ever hear a bunny getting attacked by a cat or something, or a dog? It goes, wee, 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 wee. Something like that. Those were the noises that Roy heard coming from where their little potty was. Roy grabbed the axe by the fire. "Easton!" he'd yell. "What the hell are you doing, boy?" To no answer. He started to walk into the brush, and he noticed what seemed to be a big hump of a grizzly bear. All right, this massive Bruin with these big yellow bacteria-ridden claws. He could just smell what smelled like rotting flesh and fish and piss. Just something that these bears tend to emit. He got the massive gust of it. And then he realized he saw Easton's little shoe hanging out from under this heaping pile of a bear. And you heard the boy screaming. The bear was on top of the boy like this, just sort of dragging into him. Roy was terrified. With the axe in hand, he shouted and shouted at this bear. "Bear! Get over there! Bear!" And Sarah, of course, heard the commotion. And he yelled, "Sarah! Sarah, there's a bear!" Just yelling to Sarah to come out of the tent. Sarah throws on her little bathrobe and comes rushing out of the tent. But before she could make it to Roy was ready to make his move. The bear looked back at him a couple times and was digging into Easton like this. And then it went back and just sort of, it was trying to pick the boy up then, to run off with him. The boy was still alive and just flailing his arms. Kind of like that. So Roy, without really thinking, he took his axe. He held it back. And with one big grunt, he hissed it through the air. And the bear, it slipped right under the bear's arm, like the bear was like this, right under its arm, and just stuck into Easton's skull. You could hear the skull crack. And that's when Roy realized he made a mistake. There he was, axeless. "Oh my God!" You know, he saw the axe just stuck in the boy's skull like this. The blade was in there about an inch or two. Probably getting to his brain. The boy's eyes then were all crooked. Ah! And there was just blood just gushing out of his forehead. The bear was startled by this. Well, the bear was trying to maul this kid, and all of a sudden an axe hisses under its arm and it sticks in the kid's skull. The bear let him go for just a moment. And then it looked back. It looked back at the kid. It looked back at Roy. It looked back at the kid. Then it took its big tongue and just licked the blood off his forehead. And that's when the mother saw the heinous scene. Sarah running out of the damn tent in her bathrobe sees Roy standing there. Roy was just like this. He was like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? Like he didn't, he hit the kid in the head with the damn axe. And it was stuck in his head. Like how it would be stuck in a tree stump or something. And he was stunned and shocked. He was frozen in fear. He was in peril. And the woman sees him. She's like, what the hell? And she sees the bear on top of the boy's screaming still. And Sarah just runs past Roy, shoves him out of the way. And she jumps on top of the bear. She just digs her fingernails into its hide, just ripping clusps of fur out. She bites it. She bites it right on the neck, like a big hunk of flubber from the bear. She squinches it up and bites it. And the bear obviously is terrified. It shoots up. And the lady just goes flying off its back. And then it goes back to the boy. And it looks at the boy, and the boy's almost dead. He's just like the heart's still beating. You can see with the heartbeat, the blood is just gushing out of his heart. I don't mean to be so grotesque and detailed here, okay? But you guys know why I tell these stories and why it's important to get the details out. We gotta be prepared. A lot of people don't realize the dangers that are out there. One moment, it's butterflies and rainbows. The next moment, you're getting mauled to death by a bear and it's ripping your freaking head off. All right? So it's important. These videos are for perspective and for research. But nonetheless, the bear knew it had to get going. So it leaned down, wrapped its jaws around Easton's collarbone right here, and it picked him up like a horse or something, and it started just galloping out into the woods with this boy in its mouth. Sarah had this massive gash across her face and her chest, where this bear just swiped her, knocked her down big time. Roy was just standing there, she was like, he sees his woman on the ground, and he sees the bear running off with Easton. I don't know how much the guy liked Easton. Easton caused a few rifts in their relationship. Easton's always first. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. The guy tried to save him. To my understanding. I'm convinced he was intending on hitting the bear with the axe. And he missed. And the worst case scenario occurred. The bear runs out into the damn woods, just huffing, puffing a trail of blood behind him. Sarah's just dazed on the ground. Just yelling for her boy. Roy has nothing on him to protect him. And he decides he's just gonna chase. Hey, stop! And he runs and he runs and he runs up. He goes through the weed, the brush, and he sees the bear on top of the boy. Just eating him alive. The boy's motionless. The boy's breathless. Roy grabs a massive stick. He goes. No! And he starts screaming and just swinging at the bear. And the bear gets terrified by this. He was shocked in disbelief. This human was acting like an animal. The bear dropped the boy, looked at Roy, looked at the escape route, looked at Roy again, looked at the escape route again. And it vanished into the woods. Easton's corpse lie there in peril and destruction. Sarah and Roy desolate. Roy falls to the ground on his knees at the boy's body. No! And he sees the bear just running out into the nether. Oh my God. What a horrendous scene. He just breaks down, Roy. Oh, just crying, just tears just oozing down his face. He's just, no! Sarah was in distress. She came like a zombie. Oh my God. Oh my God. She stood up. Oh my God. She felt her face. Oh my God. She looked at all the blood. Oh! The blood just coming. Oh! 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 There's blood all over the place. Her lip was hanging off from when the bear just slapped. But she tried to catch her bearings, no pun intended. She was like, oh! Just blood oozing from her face. Oh! She goes riding over to where Roy was. Run! I don't care to get into it anymore. But what happened atop Easton's body there should be witnessed by no living thing. The horror, the trauma, the pain, the agony, the suffering that Roy and Sarah felt together over their bleeding child. They called the cops. Rangers scoured the area. They didn't find the damn thing. The bear escaped. Okay? They tracked it, went through a riverbed, went through a creek, went through the reeds, ran down the damn mountain. I mean, the bear got the hell out of there. I think Roy scared it. Sometimes humans can scare a bear. I've seen it. When the humans lose themselves, they're unpredictable to these animals. They're like, what in the hell is this? Bears have an instinctive nature to be afraid of humans as it is. And I think that went into hyperdrive when Roy just broke into hysteria. When Roy lost his sense of fear. I think is what happened. He lost his sense of fear. He wasn't afraid to die. He wasn't afraid of the bear. He laid down his life for that child. And the bear got the hell out of there. But devastating story. I'm telling you guys, be careful out there in bear country. Let me know in the comments you guys heard of this story. It happened near Yellowstone. Look it up. Become a patron if you want to support the Chilling Tales. Let me know in the comments what could have been done differently to avoid this situation. Roy should have had a better means of protection. I just don't know if that axe was enough. Anyway, like the video and I'll see you all tomorrow with more Chilling Tales from the Iceman.